Greetings, my fellow warriors. So I want to I want to answer some of basically the question that is dragging here and there, and that is for example, Pulte announced that they will do the buyback of mortgage-backed securities. They, my idea was, for example, that they do the buybacks from the shares and all of that. So the main question is where the money will come from in case that we have like capital requirements for the company. And I want to address that. So the capital requirements are basically for the banks. They're not for the lenders. So the Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac should not have the capital requirements if it is normal because they are lending the money. They're buying the mortgages, so they don't need to have the capital requirement the same as the bank has. So those capital requirements that are around now 4.5%, and Fannie Mae have accumulated probably around $200 billion capital are not needed because for the business that Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac is doing, it is not a requirement. It is nice to have, but what happened that during the previous period they created that capital requirement as a safety net because that was as we know, the Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac was not non-profitable company. It was put in conservatorship because it was not liquid. But so they wanted to prevent that by creating capital requirements that Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac have very liquid funds available. As we know, the liquid requirements, like treasuries or something like that, and they don't bring a lot of return on investment. So let's say they in this case they will, let's say right now, like they will have like 2-3% cash on cash return, and that is not a lot. So when the Pulte announced that they will buy the mortgage-backed securities and say that it will increase the profitability of the company, he was absolutely right because they will take that money that they invested in $2-3 per interest per year, and they will invest in something what is more profitable, like mortgage-backed securities, where they will have like 4 or 5% per year. So on $200 million, the difference is 3%. That is around $6 billion extra profit for the company of Fannie Mae. That is like that would increase like 30% profitability of the company right now, and that is very good for the company. Will that obstruct the IPO and the uplist if those requirements are not fulfilled? In the current case and right now by the regulation, yes, because the capital requirement exists. But in a real world, we can say that those capital requirements are not needed. They're just created, like for whatever reason. But the capital requirements are not needed for the lenders. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are lenders. For the banks, yes. For the banks, okay. But for the lenders, it's a different story. Instead of that, the Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac can go to the government and say, okay, in order to provide the liquidity, that I think the Bill Ackman gave that option. We can give you like $2 billion and you give us I'm not sure, but that they can borrow the money anytime, and that insurance, or how to call it, I don't know exact words, but that is the meaning, will be available for Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac for the sum of $2 billion per year, and Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac will pay that. And for example, that they can borrow like $100 billion in case of the emergency, that situation is before doesn't happen again. And in case, from business wise, in case that I had like $200 billion saving or put on a 2%, that is $4 billion profit. and now I will invest the same money in the more profitable endeavor, like mortgage-backed securities. I will get 5%. Difference is 2. I will get the difference will be $6 billion. And in case that I'm good with the government and I make arrangement, I will pay for the security that I'm liquid in the future. I can pay like $2 billion of interest. Like, so they can sacrifice those $2 trillion and they will still gain 6. So that is, like, they pay the government. So that is really good for us, because in that case we'll be able to still have the money in case of the emergency, that we pay we'll pay the interest in case that we were like open line of credit, like that we have that, and for that option we paid like $2 billion. That is what Bill Ackman suggested. And for us it is more profitable, because on those $200 billion that we had cash reserves, now it is bringing 6%, and we're much better, 6 billion. So we profit like extra $6 billion as a company. So that is excellent. That is very important. Also, that will not postpone the IPO, because in IPO we don't need capital requirements. Like it is created. I personally believe that Mark Calabria and they done that in order to have the excuse to stop the net worth sweep. That was, I believe that they have done that. Like, okay, it's not just that we'll put the net worth sweep, but we are putting it for this reason, because we won't need to have the reserve that and that's how they divert the money from net worth sweep into that company has the excuse to retain their profit. And that also bring the situation that we have now, and that company has like $200 billion cash reserves. I talk about both companies. So, and now when there is no need for that and IPO is ready, they will be able to take that money and to put in something more profitable, instead of to sit on a books for nothing, to put in a little bit. It is also liquid. Mortgage-backed securities are also liquid, so it's not liquid as treasuries, but like they're liquid. So they will just move the money to a better place. So the IPO, uplist, don't matter that. About my idea about the share buybacks, so basically that money or the future profit can be used for the share buybacks and push the stock up. But that is also interesting story. But the money that company normally makes can be used for share buybacks, because we made like $30 billion for both companies, so it is easy to put in like $24 billion, because it doesn't need to go into capital requirements anymore. So you can use that money for anything you want. So you can put it in a share buyback at the moment we go to the uplist. So that is my answer to those questions. And I said, like, we are not a bank. We are lender. Lender don't need capital requirements. It's nice to have, but we can have some kind of insurance instead of capital requirements that we pay. Stay well, my friends.